Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. I'm going to be making some macaroni and cheese for today it's going to be supper, and I call it old-fashioned macaroni and cheese. It's got a lot of cheese in it, okay? Now here are the ingredients. You'll need one 8-ounce box, see, 8 ounce of the Mueller's elbow macaroni. Couple of squirts of Dijon mustard, 16 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese. Now I know that seems like a lot, but we want it to be really cheesy. Dash of salt, 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, 2/3 of a cup of instant non-fat dry milk. Again, 2/3 of a cup, and 2 cups of water. Now I've already got my water boiling for my macaroni. I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and I'm going to shred up my cheese in my food processor. And why is that? Because it's a lot cheaper to buy the big chunk of cheese than it is to get that's already shredded up for you. Believe me, it takes just seconds to do it, okay? Alright, we'll be back when I get all this going. Alrighty, we're back, and I've shredded my cheese in the food processor. It didn't even take a minute. I would say it took about 30 seconds, okay? And again, that's 16 ounces of shredded cheese. Now I've gone ahead and dumped in my macaroni. It's cooking right now. I have to cook for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and dump my butter into the pot. Let that melt. Now this macaroni will not be the kind that you dip out and it kind of runs off the spoon. This is going to be a very firm, chunky, I'll call it, macaroni and cheese. It's just the really old-fashioned kind of macaroni and cheese. And it's really not that hard to make, or at least I don't think it is. Alright, and now I'm going to dump the 2/3 a cup of non-fat dry milk into my 2 cups of water and just let that be dissolving. Now, there's a reason I use this non-fat dry milk in my macaroni. Every once in a while, when you're making macaroni and cheese from scratch and you use the whole milk, for some reason it doesn't like that heat in the oven so much, and it might, curdle and get runny. So what I have found is if I use the non-fat dry milk, it never ever does that, okay? And I also sometimes use this in milk gravy for the same reason. Alright, my butter has melted now. I'm going to dump my 3 tablespoons of flour in. I'm not going to use quite all of that. And you're just going to let this get bubbly in the little pot. And again, this macaroni and cheese does not take this long to fix. And it's so much better than the kind, you get in the box, and it's Kraft, I think, and it's already got the cheese in it, and to me it just tastes kind of fakey. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of that flour in there. Again, that's 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of flour. And I'm just going to let this get bubbly, turn that burner up just a little bit, put a couple of dashes of salt in. Now remember, the cheese is already salty, and I've actually salted the water that I'm cooking the macaroni in. Alright. So this is already getting a little bubbly. And by the way, I'm going to cook this in this little Pyrex dish, and I've already, you can probably see that, I've put a little bit of oil in it just because I don't like all that stuff sticking to the casserole dish. So just a little bit of oil, and I just rub it around with a paper towel usually. Alright. Flour and butter mixture is all bubbly now. Would you look at that? See, it's all bubbly now. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my milk in, and again, this is non-fat dry milk, and it really doesn't take anything to mix it up. It mixes up very well. Now I'm just going to go ahead and dump this in. Stir that around, and I'm really going to let that go ahead and get almost to the boiling point before I put the cheese in. Now, I'm going to do a couple of squirts of Dijon mustard just because it enhances the taste of the cheese. And you could use any kind of mustard. You could even use dried mustard. So I'm going to go ahead and put two squirts in. And let that get heated up, and you'll just, want to stir it for a little while. Alright, so when this gets hot, we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back, and my milk, butter, flour, and the little Dijon mustard mixture has gotten really hot, and it's but not boiling, okay? Just really heated up almost to the boiling point. My macaroni is ready. And now if you have any lumps, you can just use a little whisk and they'll come right out, okay? Now, we're going to add about 3/4 of this cheese into this hot mixture. And you want to hold back enough so that you'll have some to put on the top of the casserole. Okay. Now, I've also heated my oven to 325 degrees. And you don't want to cook this at any higher temperature than 325 because cheese doesn't like it when you cook it at a real high temperature. It's much better to cook it at 325, and it'll take probably about 30 to 45 minutes for it to get bubbly, and I like mine just slightly brown on top. I'm sorry, that's my dogs barking in the background. Okay, I'm going to have to cut this off because my husband's home and they won't stop barking. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and hopefully the dogs will stop barking at some point here. All right, now that the cheese has all melted in this milk mixture, I'm going to dump all my macaroni right into the pot. And again, you just cook the macaroni according to the directions on the box. But you only want to use 8 ounces of macaroni. Oops. Okay. Now we just want to stir that up. Now again, it's very hot, but it's not boiling, okay? Now, what we're going to do is just dump it into the casserole dish. Turn that up so you can see a little better. There you go. All right, let's dump that right in. All right, now we're ready for the rest of our shredded cheese. I'm just going to put that right over the top. And again, this is going to make a macaroni and cheese that you have to kind of, cut really almost and dip out. It's not going to be, like dripping off the spoon or anything. It's going to be a firm macaroni and cheese. It's really the old-fashioned kind. Now, I have on occasion topped the macaroni and cheese with some croutons, but I found that I really don't like it so much that way. I'd rather have cheese on top. And again, you're going to bake this at 325 for about maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45, depending on your oven. You just want it to be a little bubbly, and you want some of the cheese to be just slightly browned on top. All right, when this gets done, we'll be back. All right, the macaroni and cheese is ready, and we're going to be eating our supper in just a little while. Here's what it looks like. Now, I normally don't get it quite this brown on top. I went ahead and cooked mine for 40 minutes, but really baking it at 325, 30 minutes is more than enough time. Pick this up so you can maybe see the side of it. Anyway, that's what it looks like. All right, I hope you'll try this. Made from scratch, old-fashioned macaroni and cheese. See you next time.